Remember coal fires? If you grew up in Britain before central heating was everywhere, you'll know that heating your house wasn't just a flick of a switch. It was a full-time job, a daily commitment. It was a bit like owning a very small, aggressive, and incredibly messy dragon right there in your front room. This wasn't just about staying warm. It was a ritual, a skill, and occasionally a battle of wills. Let's start with the lighting process. This wasn't a simple task. First, you laid down newspaper, creating a protective layer on the carpet that never really worked. Then came the kindling, little sticks of wood arranged with the precision of a brain surgeon. On top of that, you'd carefully place the coal. You'd stack it, arrange it, build it into a little black pyramid, as if the architectural integrity of your coal pile actually mattered. It never mattered. The fire had a mind of its own. It would either burst into life instantly, rewarding your efforts with a glorious roar of flame, or it would punish you. It would sit there, stubbornly smoking, teasing you with little wisps of heat for 40 minutes or more, while the room got colder and your patience wore thinner. You'd be on your knees, blowing at the embers, your face getting covered in soot, wondering if you'd ever feel warmth again. And the smell, oh, the smell. You can't talk about coal fires without talking about the smell. It was a unique, acrid, smoky scent that got into everything. It permeated your clothes, your curtains, your furniture. The dog smelled of it, your hair smelled of it. You could walk down the street and know exactly who had their fire going, sometimes from 3 streets away. It was the signature scent of a British winter. We didn't think it was odd. We just accepted that everything and everyone smelled faintly of burning carbon. It was the smell of home. Every home also had the same sacred set of tools, usually kept in a brass or iron holder right next to the hearth. The holy trinity of fire management: the poker, the tongs, and the shovel. The poker was for giving the fire a good, aggressive jab when it started to look a bit sleepy. The tongs were for delicately placing a new lump of coal on, or, more often, for rescuing a piece that had dramatically rolled out onto the hearth rug. And the shovel was for clearing up the mountain of ash the next morning. These tools were always slightly bent from years of use, always dangerously hot, and always stored exactly where small, curious children could absolutely reach them. Health and safety was more of a vague suggestion back then. The morning after brought the next part of the ritual, emptying the ashes. You'd slide out the ashpan from underneath the grate, a delicate operation. You had to carry this tray of fine, grey dust through the house and out to the metal dustbin in the garden. One wrong move, one sudden gust of wind, and a cloud of grey ash would erupt, covering you, the kitchen floor, and probably the neighbor's washing. The entire street knew you'd messed up, and the bin itself, it would stay mysteriously warm for hours after you'd emptied the ashes into it. Nobody ever questioned why the bin was radiating gentle heat. It just was, and the dust. The endless, relentless coal dust. It was a fine, black powder that got absolutely everywhere. No matter how careful you were bringing the coal in from the bunker outside, a trail of it would follow you. It settled on the carpet, got under your fingernails, and left little smudges on your face. You'd hear your mum's voice echoing from the kitchen, a familiar refrain in every household: "Don't touch anything," as you stood there with blackened hands, looking guilty. Wiping your hands on your trousers was an automatic and utterly useless reflex. To protect us from this roaring beast in the living room, we had the fireguard. This was a metal mesh screen, often decorated with galleons or pastoral scenes, that was placed in front of the fire. Its job was to keep children from falling in. It didn't. What it did do was get incredibly hot, creating a whole new, more interesting way to get burned. We all learned the art of distance management from a very young age. You knew exactly how close you could get to the guard before your pajamas started to feel a bit too warm. It was an early lesson in risk assessment. Coal fires were also surprisingly noisy. They weren't a silent source of heat. They had a personality, a voice. They crackled and hissed. They would pop loudly, sending a little shower of sparks shooting up the chimney. And every now and then, a piece of coal would split with a sound like a small explosion, making everyone in the room jump. But we never panicked. We were used to it. It was just the fire talking. We trusted it, even when it was throwing tiny, hot projectiles around the living room. It was all part of the charm. The real tragedy was when the fire went out overnight. You'd come downstairs in the morning to a scene of cold, grey devastation. The grate would be filled with dead ashes, and the house would be instantly Arctic. There was no central heating to back you up. There was just a profound sense of regret and the bone-chilling cold seeping into the house. The only solution was to put on an extra jumper and maybe a hat and begin the whole lengthy process of lighting the fire all over again, while shivering and cursing your failure to bank it up properly the night before. Thinking back, it seems insane. Coal fires were dirty, dangerous, and completely impractical. They demanded constant attention and created a huge amount of mess. So why on earth do so many of us look back on them with such fondness? I think it's because they made a house feel alive. The fire was the heart of the home, a living, breathing thing that you gathered around. You didn't just turn the warmth on with a thermostat. You earned it. You built it. You tended it. You respected it. And that glowing, dancing flame didn't just heat the room. It created a focal point, a sense of comfort and togetherness that a radiator just can't replicate. It was hard work, but the reward was a home that truly felt warm. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like and subscribe for more bits of Back Then Britain. Next time, we will talk about the things Brits used to say, but have slowly been forgotten.